Welcome back to another KennerHunter video. It is May the 4th, and may the 4th be with you. I'm joined again with my wife, Dom, and we are gonna fight all day. I never thought, as husband and wife, as serious as we are off camera, I would ever have a lightsaber fight with my wife on YouTube. But here we are, and let's get started, okay? So what a cool, let's turn this off, Kanan Jarrus lightsaber from Disney Parks. Absolutely love this. She's got Anakin Skywalker over there. Slowly growing out that collection, but happy May the 4th, everybody. We had a very fun day yesterday. What did we do yesterday?
We went to go see a Star Wars film screening.
Not just a Star Wars film
I don't
screening,
remember the name,
but Star Wars, ignore her, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Theatrical 25th anniversary. It is back in the theaters. Did you see it? We did, and we had a lot of fun. You can see the popcorn buckets back here. Of course, some old signage from the old original show movie 25 years ago. Oh my gosh. I almost fell asleep. I'll be honest. During the...
You're gonna give me a hard time about that.
No. I was trying to drift, and I was like, I wonder if she's asleep right now.
I had food because we went to Alamo Draft House.
Right, Alamo Draft House. If you have one, I love them. She's getting there. But okay, so episode 1, I was not always a fan. As a kid, I went to go see it. I was like 6, and I think that was one of my first big theatrical movies that they took me to. And I liked it. It was fine. I had all the toys. I did all the things, the Taco Bell and the KFC toys.
They showed those commercials at the beginning of the film. And so I love that part about Alamo Draft House. And it got me back into that headspace of like that time frame when the movie came out. And, I had family that worked for companies that were selling Star Wars merchandise. So that was my introduction into the whole franchise, I guess you could call it. So,
yeah, I mean, what a 90s kid's dream to get your little Taco Bell.
I should have brought my Taco Bell Chihuahua. I have one. The ones from Taco Bell, you squeeze them and they talk.
I've got the Anakin right there. Yeah. I've been recollecting some of those. Some of them I've had them for forever, but so we saw the theatrical version yesterday, and it's not the one that we grew up with. It's mostly there, but my biggest gripe is that we didn't get Puppet Yoda. I want to see the freaky Puppet Yoda in there, not the CGI perfect looking Yoda that we get. One. I like the creepy eyes and
is it remastered? Is that what?
Yeah.
Different?
Yeah, it was remastered. I think in 2009 or 10. Okay. They added a couple things. As you can tell, there's a couple little changes in there, which is what they do, and I don't like that they do that. Give us the junk. Give me the space junk. I don't want to see this new age doodads and doohickeys. Give me the puppets. And so, I almost fell asleep in the middle, but it's always the case there. That sort of second act tends to be a little bit slower. In the beginning, I was like, Misa excited, and then
the other thing too that changed for me. So I saw, like I mentioned, bits and pieces of this movie in the past. Okay, and back then, I really thought Keira Knightley and Natalie Portman. I was like, oh my gosh, nobody's noticing this? Like they look so similar. Oh my goodness, and but watching it this time. Did nobody notice the switch? It's so obvious. Come on. They did completely different looking people. But that could be with time. You've recognized them both in their different projects. So that was a different change.
Six-year-old me was like, what?
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah. You're telling me that she's the queen? Yeah. I'm all like, did you believe that?
Yeah. That's funny.
I know. So it was fun. I mean, I love it. I didn't always, like I mentioned. And last year, I was putting out on socials that I was going to watch The Phantom Menace every single day until I didn't hate it. Because I used to fast forward. I used to, couple years ago I started rewatching them, and I hadn't watched it since maybe like a VHS tape in the early 2000s.
You know what?
And what?
Yeah, now that you're saying that, I think this is the one that turned me off to Star Wars, the rest of the films.
Yeah.
The one that made me fall asleep.
Yeah, I have to admit that if you're a new, if you're a social Star Wars lover and not a heavy Star Wars drinker like I am, it does turn you off.
Kool-Aid.
It turns you off. Your Bantha milk, the blue milk. Okay, it turns you off, and it did a little bit for me because I always loved Star Wars. I loved the original trilogy always, but when I got a little bit older, I was like, okay, this is really. But then don't get me wrong. I mean, I went to go see Attack of the Clones 6 times in the theater, and then Revenge of the Sith 10 times. I know that's not a lot because there's people that go see it like 20 times, but I went 10 times in the course of a week and a half. Wow. I saw it twice the opening night.
Oh my
it was
goodness.
like 12:01 a.m. and then we went back to go see it at 9 a.m. I was dedicated to that movie. I loved it.
So I have more to say though now that you've unlocked this memory for me. That this was, like I mentioned, the first Star Wars movie I ever watched. No background, no history. I didn't even know at the time that Anakin was Darth Vader. I did not know that.
Spoiler alert.
I know. And when I found out, like, probably a couple years later, I was like, oh my gosh, what? Like, your queen story.
Yeah.
And so I could see why that's a horrible. Don't do that. Or do some research, or have a trusted Star Wars historical person tell you everything.
You
first.
have to.
Yeah.
So last year I went through and I watched it a total of 13 times. I'm not gonna lie, 13 times I watched The Phantom Menace. It was harder to get started to do that than I think than maybe watching the sequels, which says a lot because I don't like the sequels. And that quickly changed. I think around the 7th time, and believe me, at first I was fast forwarding. I was not sitting there watching, a 2.5 hour movie. I was fast forwarding it through a lot of scenes. And by the last time I watched it before this, I watched the whole thing and I liked it. And
I was gonna say, I think this is one of my favorite ones.
It's very good. It is. It's one that people want to say, oh, it's generational. But the more lore you get into, the more this makes sense. The more it's exciting. Dave Filoni has talked about that. He has a really good interview where he's talked about that with how he thought of those films with George Lucas because of what George Lucas told him. And how this is the ethos of Star Wars, and it really does give you that. So if you care, you're not a social drinker to Star Wars, you are in it, you're going to enjoy it. But if you're on the periphery and you're only ever going to, be the original trilogy, boomer that you are, you're not going to care about it. And I did a poll on social, and I said, who's going to go see this movie? And there was hundreds of people that said, I got my tickets, or I'm buying my tickets. And then there was a good percentage that said, hell no, I'm not going to go see this movie. No. And so it got me thinking. I was like, I was definitely more in that. I would have always gone to go see it, at any point in my life. But there's still a lot of people that, just like the animated shows, it's a no-go. So, I can't say give it a chance because you won't if you don't care. No. But Star Wars ethos at its base is in this movie, is in a lot of the animated Rebels. I'm going to plug Freddie Prinze Jr. saying it right here.
Dom, make sure you watch Rebels. It's a great introduction into the Star Wars universe, and it's going to give you information that's going to make you feel smarter than all your Star Wars fan friends who think they know Star Wars. It's just full of it's like if you went to college, they would say English 101. It's like Star Wars 101. It's the easiest way in, and it gives you the most information about the rules of the universe. And then you, too, will be all powerful. So, enjoy the 4th.
To watch Rebels, because it's true. I'm going to keep using that because
Sorry, Freddie.
Freddie Prinze Jr. Talked to me in a way. So
I thought they were two different movies. Seeing it back then and seeing it now, I really did. Yeah. And that says a lot for me.
Yeah. What do you got there? She jumped up to go get this, by the way.
I did. I found this Taco Bell toy and I got it for Kyle.
the cup topper to I think it was Pizza Hut and Taco Bell offered it. I don't know if it was just Taco Bell.
Do you want to do your quote again?
I
like
love
you did?
those. This is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing.
Just says it so silly. I love that. I love it. So yeah, what a cool time, you know, that the movie's appreciated. 25th anniversary. May the 4th. I mean, it has been such a chaotic couple of days for Star Wars fans. Just everything going on sale and all these things. I was
Getting your milk, finding
getting
your
my milk, a big quest to find the true moo milk that a lot of people can't find still. It's not in their areas, but just put food coloring and enjoy the day no matter what. But we did that. We had a great time with it. We're still going to chug some blue milk later today. But it's not just the 25th anniversary of The Phantom Menace. It's also the 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars. And this has to be one of my all-time favorite sets from the original that came out 25 years ago today. And I've got the box back there, and I've got a couple of the other ones too. But I just love how crazy this X-Wing is, and the way that they put the photos in the ad was this super ridiculous X instead of the normal way. And I love it. I think it's quirky. It was so cool to be a kid. This was one of my first Lego sets too. I think
He's in there too.
Luke's in there. We got R2. I definitely was a Lego kid and got everything. But when Star Wars came on to the world, oh my gosh, did that change for so many people. And of course now it's this huge juggernaut and everybody's trying to get every set possible and they just won't stop. And it's so exciting. You know, we're here 25 years later, from 6-year-old me to all of this is insane. So it's a cool reflection day, and how I never really celebrated May the 4th. I think I would jokingly say, oh, May the 4th be with you, maybe once or twice before the last couple of years. But this year really went all out. And
especially the first year of us really celebrating it as a family.
yeah,
We've done the blue milk cheers, you know, within our family, and same thing you mentioned, maybe a shirt or two.
yeah.
But this year is really fun.
Oh yeah. So there's a lot on the horizon. We know that we've got tons of shows coming out right now over the summer. They just announced that Skeleton Crew is most likely coming out during Christmas. So we've got a lot of Star Wars ahead. It's been a great couple years of this, and it's only going to get better. So next year we're looking a little bit into Attack of the Clones anniversary, and so who knows where we're going to be at by then. But if you did not go see it, go out there. It's still playing, I think, all next week. There is a special look at the Acolyte at the end, so you have to stay through the entire curtain call, and then you get to see a very cool clip of it. What did you think of the Acolyte?
Because I almost left. Full disclosure, I was like, oh, we already saw the trailer, we can go. And Kyle was like, no, we're staying.
Keep in mind, the whole movie theater left, and
They did.
They took off.
It was just our row. But I also think they thought we were gonna get kicked out because all the staff came to watch it too. Sorry, I don't want to be a narc, but yeah. So our entire theater left. It was just our row that stayed to watch it, and I'm so glad that we did, because it was a way more in-depth trailer, a lot more detail. I was already gonna watch it, you know, but that really made me excited, and I want to know. What about you? What'd you think?
Yeah, no, I want it now. I'm excited. We got Tales of the Empire today to watch, so it's a festive May 4th.
It is a holiday today.
Yeah,
for us.
it feels like it. So super cool. But I'm looking forward to the Acolyte. The extended cut trailer made me on board with it a little bit more. And so, yeah, I'm excited for that. We got a lot of cool stuff. Place all your orders on everything on Hasbro and Disney, and I got to go and do that right now. But it's been such a fun ride. Hopefully you are enjoying it along with us, and we will see you soon in a galaxy far, far away.